So we were on that point on recommended dietary allowance. Whenever we plan, we have to keep in check. We have to have this table side by side with us so that we will be able to know what are the recommended dietary allowance. So for a sedentary man, we have to, over here, we have 2,320 kilocalories, and for protein we have 60, that is the recommended allowance. For fats it's 25, and calcium 600 milligrams. After we have the recommended dietary allowance, then we go to the next step, that is planning the menu with the above details of the table. And then we make it in the table. So we divide the table into meal, menu, ingredients, portion size, raw amount, and cook amount. So based on that, we split it into various meal. So the various menu, it is like based on your options or your common sense, how you use from day-to-day life, what are the items to be included for a man, for a child, for a woman, that is based on your choice. And ingredients, for ingredients, we have, like we all know, like for French toast, we will have bread, milk, egg, and some sugar. That is the mixture. That is the ingredients for a particular dish. So the portion size now. The portion size is how you should plan. The portion size is based on this. Based on this, select food groups from all the 5 food groups. So based on this, the selection, it should have each meal, see to it that it has a cereal, it has a protein, that is like all the full day's menu should have all these in food group. Cereals and millet, pulse, milk, roots and tubers, as I've discussed in the earlier video also, which you have to stress that each meal, each plan should have the rest of the food groups. For example, here we are having French toast, which is bread, and then so 2 portion 2, because here it's 30, right? So 2 portion, that is 2 into 30 is 60 grams. That is how it is, because for a sedentary man, over here we have 14 is the multiple of this portion size. That is how we calculate. Even for the whole day's menu, we have to add, for example, cereal, we have 60 over here, cereal. Then we have wheat, another 30, that is wheat flour, and then we have rice, which is another cereal, 120. And when we add up all these cereals, I hope you have understood by now what falls under cereal, which food ingredients falls under cereal. The whole amount should come to the total of this over here, 420 grams. Okay, so how do we know that it should be this much? It is based on this table. See over here also, 14 multiply into 30. For example, 14 multiply into 30 is 420 grams, which means 420 grams should make up the whole entire menu. For the breakfast, some cereal, around 60 is given over here, and then for the and then even wheat porridge also another 30 grams over here, rice another 120, and then again we have poha, which is rice flake, this is another 90 grams, then wheat flour again, roti, it is 120 grams, and then we have, that's all for the entire day. And then when we plus all these, we will get this 420. So you should split the cereal in such a way that is equally distributed throughout the day. Right, for rice, as it is, no person can be able to take 420 grams at one go. So we have to split this 420 of cereals and millets into the breakfast, incorporated some amount to the breakfast, the lunch, then the evening tea, and the dinner. That is how it is. Okay, even in the case of pulses also. In the case of pulse, we have here for the lunch. Oh, okay. No, we have here for the dinner. We have Bengal gram, right? So over here, the recommended dietary, the recommended amount, that is the multiple for a sedentary man, is 2. So 2 into 30 multiple is 60, right? So I've given only one time over here, Bengal gram, that is 30 grams. See, when we calculate the whole day, over here, we have 30 grams of 30 grams of pulse over here, right? 30 grams of pulse. And then when we see to it, why according to the recommended dietary is 2 into 30 is 60, but I've given only 30. What is the thing is that a person by choice is a non-vegetarian, as mentioned in the question itself. By choice, he's a non-vegetarian. So I've already also incorporated a non-veg item. Because for a non-vegetarian, as it is according to this, for a non-vegetarian, one portion of pulse, okay, here in the table, in the case of non-vegetarian, over here, in the case of non-vegetarian, substitute one pulse portion with one portion of egg, meat, chicken or fish. That means here I've given only 30, which is one portion, and which was supposed to be 60, and one portion I have substituted it by giving another non-veg, that is in the form of chicken. I've given one portion non-veg. That is why by giving only one time pulse also will make the required amount. Clear? And then we see the next level is milk. See, whatever milk we have given, I've given here in the tea, and then milk also in the French toast to be mixed 50 ml. So what that makes 150. And another is I've given in the tea time, so that is another 50, that makes 200 ml. And another is doing the bedtime, that is another 100. So it makes the whole amount to 300 ml per day. So that is over here also I've given milk as 300 ml. It is equally distributed for the breakfast, for the evening tea as well as for dinner. What is the recommended here according to the food groups? That is the 100. 3 into multiply into 100, we get 300. So I've given it throughout the day in small amounts, and the total amount is coming to 300. So even for the roots and tuber also likewise it is the same way. See, it can be a little less or it can be a little more, so it doesn't matter. For roots and tuber it's 100 into 2, so 2, that is 200. But over here is just a little less, that is 145 gram. It does not matter as long as it is more or less close by to the what is recommended. So after that is side by side, whenever we plan the diet, we know that appropriate, I've given you another table like based on the raw and the cook amount. So based on the raw, we know that a cup of tea, we will have 1 cup of tea. So when we try to make a good cup of tea, we'll have half ml, 100 ml, that is half cup of milk and a cup of, and then the rest will be of tea. So we make it 1 cup. So the same way, like you have to use common sense as well as use the practical aspect of how to prepare food. So all these are based on the practical aspect. Wheat flour, so we can take half cup of porridge, and then so for example bread toast, we can have 2 to 3 slices, that is 60 grams. It will make more or less 60 grams. You can practice this at home by taking like 1 or 2 pieces of bread. Does it weigh approximately 60 grams? So you can check that. And rice, 100, if you have a weighing scale, then if you cook around 120 grams of rice, it will come to, after cooking, it will come to 2.5 cup in the cook form. This is the cook amount, right? So it is compulsory to have a raw and a cook because it is different. So in the raw we have it in grams, as but then in the cook form we have it in cups form or in bowl or pieces or tablespoon. Okay, so these are the cook amount which cannot be given in the form of grams, but it should keep in mind it should be in the form of cups, in the form of teaspoons or tablespoon, or in the form of slices in the case of bread, and in the form of katora also. And the standard size of cups is 200 ml. So I hope you are clear with all this, and when you have done this everything, when you have planned, you check with the food list. You make this food list, you see to it that all the food groups are included in the meal plan. And once you've done that, you will not go wrong. Whenever you have checked, you can change the amount. You just keep it roughly and then change the amount here and add these portion size accordingly. So 50 ml, and we know that 100 ml. So 100 ml is 1 portion. So 50 ml will be half of 100 ml, right? So we have the portion size as 0.5. I hope this is understandable. You have to like one portion is 100 ml. Over here also 1 portion is 100 ml. In the case of 50 ml, that is half of 1, that is 0.5. Over here also for potato, 1 portion of roots and tuber is 100 grams, right? 100 grams, and half I've given just 50 grams. So 50 grams, half portion will be, that is just half portion. 100 is 1 portion, the 50 is half portion, and I've written the portion size as 0.5. That is how it works. In the case of carrot also, it is a root and tuber. So I've given 30 grams, and then it is 30 from the 100 grams. So it is 0.3. So you have to calculate it likewise the same way. And that is the last stage for making the food list. And after most of you in your your assignment, you have written total at the end of this. At the end of this, you have written total. It is not necessary to plus all this. What will you get when you plus all the raw material? It doesn't make sense. So total should be given to over here. After making the food list, here there's no such as total or anything. Or here there's no need to calculate these amount. Doesn't make sense. You'll mix up all the amount over here. Total, you write it here and you calculate the energy. There is another table which I've given you, right? Based on the calculations, these are the food group portion size, like 30 grams, how much energy you'll get. Pulses, how much energy you'll get for from 30 grams. So these are the energy, protein, carbohydrates, and fats. So you have to incorporate for 20 grams of cereals, and then you can multiply it into 30 and divide it by 100 in order, you multiply 420 into 100 and you divide by 30 to get, in order to get this 1400. Because if 30 grams of cereal and millets is give 100 kilocalories, then what will be 420 grams? That is simple calculations. Okay, so based on that, after you get the whole amount, then you calculate the energy, protein, carbohydrate, fats by referring to this table, this food exchange table. Then you'll get the energy, protein, carbohydrates, and fats. I hope you understand that part. And then after that, when everything is complete, then you total up the energy, the protein, fats, and carbohydrates. And then you check whether the total is meeting or not the recommended dietary allowance. For in the case of this is almost plus minus 50, right? Here the recommended dietary allowance is 2320. What we get is 2371 kilocalories. So it is almost close to this. See, when you follow this table, when you follow these amount and following the portion size, you will not get you'll get almost the close amount to what is recommended. That is how you should plan a diet. So what I'm giving in the notes also, like the today's note I've given for infancy, you have to go through the entire note, and then I've planned for you for infant, right? For infant, there's another table which you have to follow based on the portion size, the same thing, but then different category. Like for infant, then we have 6 to 12 months, 1 to 2 years, 4 to 6 years, 7 to 9 years, 10 to 12 years, 13 to 15 years, and we have another one is 16 to 18 years. Okay, based on this, you have to see from this table, and then you have to plan accordingly. This is the portion size, and how much is 0.5 into 30 cereals and millets. See, very less. In the case of sedentary man, it is 30 into 14, right? See, for the infant here we have 30 into 0.5. For 1 to 3 years we have 2 into 30. So in this case, the same method apply on how to plan a diet for an infant. Over here also, for an infant, I have given, you have to go through the whole notes, why we have given breast milk as well in this. Okay, you have to go through the whole notes to understand to this sample of planning, and you have to see to that how I've planned, what I've given. Clear? So see through that all these sample diet, I followed the same step. Personal data is there over here, and then there is a table planning the menu, recommended diet allowances. For this we have over here, see, for infant we have 0 to 6 months, right? And then I'm planning, the question is for a 9 months old child, male child. And then 6, that is, it falls under this category, 9 months, that is 6 to 12 months. And 6 to 12 months, and for that child, the question, it says that he weighs 9 kg. So 9 we have to multiply into 80. After 9 into 80, what we get is 720 kilocalories. And the protein part is 1.69, over here 1.69 per kg per day. That means you have to multiply, when it's given in this form per kg per day, you have to multiply into the weight. But in the case of all these, we need not multiply because it's given over here. But in the case of this, it's given the weight, and it's written over here kilocalories per kg per day. So whenever the question it gives the weight, then you have to multiply. Keep in mind that for 0 to 6 months is 92 kilocalories. For 6 to 12 months, it is 80 kilocalories per kg per day. After multiplying, we get, even in the case of protein, 1.69 grams per kg per day into 9 kg, we get 15.21 grams. Then we incorporate into the plan, into the menu. What are the plant? We incorporate it over here, and then as the notes also, as well as for an infant, we have to include 9 months. We have to include exclusive breastfeeding for 6 months, and after that, after 6 months, we introduce some complementary foods, like in the case of egg yolk, in the case of malt wheat products. Then khichdi we give, and then we give some vegetables, stew vegetables, and then which is mash.